Philosophy is not necessarily all about rigorous arguments with premises leading to conclusions. Rather, sometimes it may involve thought experiments which attempt to help how one thinks about a certain issue. Now, at first I wasn't going to make this video because I thought my hypothetical scenario was a bit far-fetched. But then I remember some of the other scenarios I've read in books written by PhD philosophers that are far-fetched as well. So to be clear, this is not a decisive argument. It is merely an attempt to see what you guys think about this. Okay? Now, the catalyst for this thought I had was a talk on Stickam. A user on it said that there was a contradiction within the concept of God. The reason why is this. God's ability to foreknow a certain event which involves a person or a group of people seems to imply that the person or group of people in the event does not have free will. At first, I thought to myself that this really is not a contradiction within God. Rather, at best, it means that if God exists and knows how certain people will act prior to them acting, then these people don't have free will. But I still didn't even see how that logically follows. So I came up with an example for him to consider on my own, which I will bring forth to you. Yet it's a refined version. Before I do give my refined version of the example I gave, let us formulate exactly how this argument goes. Okay? Premise 1. If God exists and has foreknowledge of the future actions of people, we will symbolize the term foreknowledge of the future actions of people as FFP from now on, then people do not have free will. Premise 2. God exists. Premise 3. God has FFP. Conclusion. Therefore, people do not have free will. I'm sure you guys can see the CP in both premises 2 and 3. The CP stands for conditional premise. Let me discuss this quickly. To explain the use of conditional premises, think about the logical problem of evil. In this argument, the one forwarding it supposes, for the sake of the argument, that a God exists, and then attempts to show that if one did, it couldn't exist if there was evil in the world. The supposition in the argument, namely that God exists, is used as a conditional premise. So better defined, the function of a conditional premise in an argument is to assume something as true in order to draw further implications. So here, when it comes to the foreknowledge thing, it's as if the person in dialogue was saying, suppose there was a God, and suppose this God has FFP. If we allow these two suppositions, it seems so and so follows. Okay, I hope you guys are with me now. So to sum the argument, the person here is saying that the primary property of God that makes man unable to act freely is his foreknowledge. So here is the situation I propose. Keep in mind you can offer several others that can fit the same criteria. Okay, so here's an example. Suppose you are in a room sitting next to a friend named Jones. Furthermore, suppose coinciding with you turning to look at your friend Jones, he is shot in the head with a sniper. Okay, so you're in a room with your friend Jones, you turn to look at him, and once you turn, he is shot in the head with a sniper. Following that? Okay. Let us also suppose that you happen to be a crime scene investigator, and you not only find out who shot your friend, but also other specifics to the crime, such as the time of the shot, where the shooter was, etc. So in this example, let us call the shooter Smith. So at this time, you have knowledge that Smith killed Jones. Now, suppose time travel were possible, and you return a few moments prior to the time when Smith killed Jones. Okay, so you have this knowledge that Smith killed Jones, and you return a few moments prior to when the shooting took place. So now, at this point, your knowledge has turned to foreknowledge. So you have foreknowledge that Smith will kill Jones. Now here is the question. Does your foreknowledge that Smith will kill Jones somehow negate Smith's free will? Intuitively, in my opinion, it seems that your foreknowledge of how the event will take place really does nothing to affect Smith's freely acting to kill Jones. Okay? But then why would God's foreknowledge do such a thing? That is the question.